I love Prokofiev, it really speaks to me. I mean, this year the theme of the festival is called childhood, and Prokofiev for me is like a child that never really grown up. There's something really naughty and you can say sarcastic, but I think children always have that side, you know, just to be rebellious for the sake of being rebellious. And he always had a little bit of that side. I just feel like being a musician, just like Prokofiev, I mean, I don't know what grew up really means. Like, I hate when people say, oh, you should be more mature. I hate being mature. I think it's more fun to do whatever we want, to be a child, to be creative, to be curious, to be reckless sometimes. I'm very grateful how I started music, you know, how my teacher trained me back then, maybe before 7. I always wish I stayed until 18. I feel like all the pieces I learned before 18 really stays with you. It's like part of your DNA. The music you hear back then, it really takes in to your subconscious. And Luzern, in a way, it is that for me. But I was here, 21, 22, when Claudio chose me 9 years ago to play the opening concert. Ein Kaffee, bitte? Gerne. So it's kind of like the beginning of my adulthood. Every time I come back here, there is that kind of, it was a beginning of where I started feeling. And now I'm coming back with the same piece, with a different orchestra and different conductor who is also magical, Kirill Porchenko. So for the hair, I just had a shooting for La Mer, you know. Yeah. And they did my hair like this.
Cool.
About a whole bottle of.
But it's cool. It's cool.
Of hairspray.
I think it looks perfect.
Working with Kirill was a dream. We played first time in Israel together, and then we played it in Berlin in April, and now we're on tour. Every time we play, the same thing. He always have here and there a little bit, you know, little gesture, and makes the difference for everything. You know, this is his first tour with new appointment as a Berlin Philharmonic chef, which is, I have to say, my favorite orchestra. I shouldn't say that. But they just have something really raw and wild and just explosive about them. And they're young players, and they have this way of pushing to the limit. The musicians are loving their new conductor. And you can tell from the way they play. They play like 200%, and it's really intimidating how powerful that is.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Do you like it?
I love it. Well, I generally really dislike piano selection. The whole process, especially in a gorgeous hall, they always have 3 amazing pianos, and each one has their pros and cons. I know of some other colleagues who bring their own piano. And they are down to the, you know, how high the keys are, how many millimeters they want, what weight they want on each key. They're very particular. I'm not.
Yes, it's our new baby, and it's 1.5 year old, and it's also a very bright piano like this. The other, yeah. This you know.
Yes.
You played the last
I did the
time.
Bartok on there.
Yes. Yes.
I usually just go for a more powerful piano. I love how when I'm talking about piano, it's almost like how people talk about cars, like more engine, more horsepower.
If the action is good for you,
Both are very good.
Yes, then this one.
Yeah. Definitely that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, new baby.
Next time.
Next time. This one, the one I chose today, is warmer. It has more color. It has something really alive about it. But the other one is more newer and is brighter. It has more fast attack and more edgy. And it's always, I have to keep in mind when the audience is in, it always makes the sound different. And each hall has a different reaction to it. So if I play it more often in each hall, I kind of have that little bit of knowledge from the experience. My parents are musicians, and they know how hard it is to be a musician, to be disciplined. But the way they kind of went to the reverse psychology, my mom kept saying, oh, it's just a hobby, don't make it into a profession. And now I am traveling around the world by playing the piano, which is not bad. For me, it was always from a discovery, fun point of view. And I love just keep that attitude, that mentality when I play. So the Luzern Festival for me has such big tradition. I've been back playing almost every year, so it's kind of like a landmark. Because Luzern, unlike China, when you come back, it's never changing. People are changing, but the bridge is still there, the tree is still there, KKL is still there. It's quite a special feeling always to just walk into kind of a postcard atmosphere and eating cakes and having coffee and play a great concert for awesome Swiss people.